yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thank you again for the support, and we'll start this run. I took all of the stream audio out of my run, and only my audio will play, so there won't be overlapping between mine and Behemoth's. So there won't be any Zeni songs unless I sing them myself as I'm watching. But you also won't have to worry about hearing me rage or whatever in the background, and we won't have to worry about audio balancing between like me talking, and because that gets confusing and stuff. So, all right. So yeah, I'll just kind of talk about the way that this run went as it goes, and I'll just try and do some commentary on it. Kind of what I was thinking, how I was feeling. Ferg, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. So this was our second run of the night, and it was, I don't know, probably our 6th or 7th series attempt. And like usual, we got steamed, and then we got magnet stairs, and I remember thinking I should just reset right there. I should just reset. Whatever, I don't want to reset. 48 through the door. And still a 45. It's a low 45, but we'll take it. Let's go. All right. Sit back. Relax. You guys don't need to see my name. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Here we go. Okay. So, running along. Just general series stuff. Or general Zebus stuff at this point. It was a 45 that got a 440. Yeah. Yep, and I'll talk about that a little bit. So my first bombs, my first split is bombs. Wow, I'm doing an excellent job of speaking tonight. My first split is bombs, and my best bombs time is a 438. So 438.5, something like that. And that used to be like god tier for me. At this point, I don't get 438s all the time, but I've had more than I can count. 439s are what I consider to be a great segment. 440s are kind of what I consider to be good. 441s and 42s are acceptable, and anything slower than that makes me just want to reset. My PB before this run had 444 bombs, and the only reason that I accepted the 444 on that run was because it was our first run of the day, and I had just like woken up and not warmed up or anything at all. So I just figured, I'll just let it go and see where the run goes. So that's why running against the first split for these runs was actually really easy to be ahead, which was nice. So yeah, generally clean. You'll notice Behemoth and I do different climbs here. I do a wall jump climb, and Behemoth does ledge grabs. People call it the Behemoth climb because I believe he was the first one to do it this way. But if not, he was definitely the first, like, notable runner to do it that way. It is too bad I don't have the split timer up, but oh well. Alright, so, bombs. That was a pretty clean segment. Went pretty well. I remember BT had been giving us crap RNG all night. So I actually made a comment, if I remember correctly, about, like, let's see if we can get a run started or if BT is just going to give us crap drops again. But yeah, that went very well. It was a very clean BT fight. Thank you for the congratulations. Behemoth has been world record holder on 100% for about 4 years before this. Happy to get this room cleanly. This is one of those rooms that you see a lot of runners do it perfectly so often that you just assume that it's easy. But honestly, it's always a little bit stressful. It's really easy to KO that waiver boost. Sorry, Matrix. Okay, so I missed that jump. So you'll see Behemoth actually got that, so he's gonna gain just a little time on me here. But yeah, that was the first like mistake of the run, and I remember being bummed out about that. This is the reverse mock ball, which I commonly refer to as the hardest mock ball in the game, just because it's really awkward the way that you have to do that with the speed and the height of the jump, and then the timing of the release and repress of jump after the door and all that stuff. So what is next? I will be going for the 112, but not immediately. I'm gonna take a tiny break first. I can shrink the camp, or I can just scoop back. I'll scoop back. That'll be easier than shrinking it. Hopefully that's better. So we got the weave. We got the up and two. Oates did know. Yes, he knew my pace. I believe he knew my pace when he ran it. If he didn't, he knew right after. Sorry, I didn't even think about the my head covering half my screen. My ugly mug. I jumped way too high there. I remember thinking like, oh crap, that's not good. Ultimately just a couple frames lost, but I missed the door there. So that's a little bit of a loss. You can see Behemoth actually made it. Everybody that came in was like, WTF, minus 30? Minus 27? Minus this? Minus that? Like, I saw people in chat when I rewatched it this morning having to clarify and confirm for people probably 20 or 30 times, yes, what you are seeing is accurate. Alright, so I was glad to get that jump. Missing that jump is something that happens more often than you would think and is a terribly punishing mistake. Hey Chavo, what's up? Yeah, exactly, Mike and the boys. I think a lot of people assumed that, you know, something was wrong. All right, Kraid lag reduction. So I actually recently decided, regardless of anything, I think doing this Kraid lag reduction is always worth it, even if it means grabbing the drops. Hodarubi actually came up with this setup, and Kraid was actually still exceptionally laggy here. So the lag reduction probably saved us a second, or half a second, maybe close to a full second. But if he hadn't been that laggy, this probably would have been a gold segment. It was a very, very clean segment. The split time on this, if I remember correctly, was a 10:36, and that is tied for my best Kraid Varia time ever. Very nice damage boost up on the ledge there without needing to jump up. Alright, so I landed on that corner, and I had also done that in my PB, and that is such a feels bad. That loses almost a full second. So I was like, oh man, like, this was going so good, and then I made that stupid mistake again. Like, I would have been even further ahead at that point, which would have been sick, but whatever. It's just a little mistake, just a little tiny issue on the run that ultimately will help me only be 35 seconds behind at gravity in future runs instead of 36 seconds behind. Death by 1,000 cuts, absolutely. All right, doing some downbacks there. Gonna grab this energy tank. Ideally, you want to do a quick drop, kill this Nova, and then shoot the door with a Doppler shot. However, I had to do a little short hop and shoot the door that way instead because I wasn't confident in my position. So I lost a couple frames optimally there. We grabbed the high jump boots, the high jump boots. As you can see, that's how it's spelled. Shiny's high. High jump boots. And then I do this farm a little bit differently than Zost and Behemoth. I found that my ceiling for strat execution is a lot better doing it the way that I did there. So I really like that strat though. I've also picked up some additional farms in this room, courtesy of Zost, the way that he does it. Got both of those. The more health you have in reserves and the more supers you have here, the more comfortable it is to skip the speed farms. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm comfortable skipping both of them, but I very commonly skip the first one now, unless I get a bunch of bad drops, which I already have 5 supers here, so I'm fairly certain that I skip the first speed farm. We missed the uppercut, unfortunately. Down the speed hallway we go. I do not remember my split time here or how far ahead I was, but I remember thinking it was good, but not the best that I've ever had. I think it was, yeah, actually I think I was -7 or so, which is actually really good, but the best I've ever had was like a -7.9 or something. So I do grab these drops here. Mainly it's a guarantee that I'll be topping off my reserves. I didn't need supers or missiles, but nice damage boost. Hey, thank you. Oh, I forgot about this mistake! Oh no! That's a really bad mistake. This is like really bad. It's one of the worst things that can happen. So now I'll only be 34 seconds behind at gravity in future runs instead of 36. I also believe I missed the bomb spread here, and... Oh no, I got it. And I got the optimal one. Of course I did. Okay, well that's gonna suck to run against, but that's okay. I'm actually really consistent with that, so that's fine. That's a frame-perfect strat, by the way. You have to morph on the last frame that Samus is turning around. Or else she just won't morph. I do a triple Nova farm here. I'm the only person that does, as far as I can tell. It loses something like 20 frames to do the extra farm, which is generally worth it. On this particular run, I could have and probably should have skipped it, but I got so used to doing the triple farm that I can no longer do the double farm optimally. So I also missed the wall jump and damage boost coming here. So at this point, I was -9. I could have been about -12 with a clean segment. So, you know, I was a little disappointed in that, but whatever. We missed the mock ball coming out of ice, but we did get this strat here, which is super important. If you miss this mock ball, you get stuck behind this gate, and it loses a ton of time, so... I guarantee you this pace will be beaten. Even if I drop out, I guarantee you Zost will beat it eventually. If you would like to know the final time, you can go look on the leaderboard. If not, I will confirm it at the end of the run. Alright, so we do an Alpha Spark here. And then we do get the down grab there. Yep. So kind of a sloppy red tower climb. One miss ledge grab, one bonk. So that probably cost us, I don't know, a second and a half, 2 seconds. Those misses were very punishing though. We did get the weave there, but we unmorphed early, so it wasn't as much of a save as it could have been / should have been. Notice how much time Behemoth made up on me in the past 5 minutes. It was quite a bit further ahead than this. I think Behemoth will do whatever he wants to do regardless of what other runners do. Very clean strat here. And I got the good jump out as well. It's really, really easy to bonk there if you try to jump too early. And if you try to jump too late, Samus actually has a slower jump and you end up taking damage on the spikes and falling back down. It's not that tight of a window for the good jump, but it's just kind of awkward, so... Alright, so we go for Ocean Fly here, and the past couple days, I have fallen in the moat 4 times because I didn't activate my spark early enough. So on this one, I actually activated my spark earlier than usual. Combined with the way the shot went, I was sure that I actually missed this, but we did get it, so... Missed the awesome turnaround there, unfortunately. We did clear the second set of spikes, which is really good. And then I actually optimized this room pretty recently. So you can do a down back to fall in that corner before landing, which saves like 20 frames or something over what Zost was doing previously. I don't remember if it saves that much over what I was doing, but... Alright, so somebody made the comment earlier in the run, Fantoon, please be nice. And I replied to that remark with, Fantoon being nice on this pace when he's already given us a fast today? No way. Left fast. With an 8 missile Doppler. Left fast. With a 3 missile, 1 super air Doppler. And this is where I went into full focus overdrive. Holy crap. I cannot choke this run. This pace just became stupidly fast. I did not look at my splits at this point, but when I watched the run today, I checked them and saw we were minus 17 compared to our PB at this point, and my PB was a 1:13.28. Also, my PB before this run had such a bad wrecked ship that we had 19 seconds to save compared to our gold. So I knew, I was like, I have to get a clean wrecked ship here, and if I do, we're gonna be on the sickest pace ever. So far this has been very clean. I haven't messed up any strats. That room sucks to optimize, and that went very well. We got the optimal ball bounce through this room, which is definitely not something you can rely on. I did not get the optimal damage boost into this room, but I did get the Kago turn through the spark, which I've been having trouble with, and then I got a good jump up through the blind section as well. 1 bomb jump over the water there. If you fall in the water, your run's pretty much dead. And then I didn't miss any jumps on the way back either, which is also something that I've been having trouble with. I did unfortunately not get the down back there. I turned left instead, which was disappointing. I probably lost half a second, maybe even more, to that mistake. This room has killed many of my good pace runs recently, so I was glad that that went cleanly. Wreck ship shaft. This room is impossible to optimize, and while it definitely wasn't the cleanest I've ever done it, I didn't really miss anything either, so that was a very good room. Here's attic. As close to perfect as you can hope for in a run. Here's robot missiles. We got the first clip. We didn't get hit by the spark. We got the damage boost clip. We grabbed the missiles. I do not get the optimal damage boost there, so I have to boost twice in order to make sure that I can make it through both robots. And then the second robot shot us, which also lost us some time. And a nice, clean return on the attic as well. I recently changed the way I do that jump because I realized that I was throwing away 20 to 30 frames in the way that I was doing it. So what I'm doing now is a little bit more risky, but definitely worth it. I was sure that I missed that super shot, so you notice that I turned right first because I thought I was going to have to reposition, but it worked out. Oh yeah, I missed that bug shot. That bug can drop something good for you a lot of the time. Not only did I not get the drop, but I missed a shot, so I lost a little time there. I did not bother farming in the room before this one. which is something that I've recently dropped on most runs. And then bowling went very cleanly. So for those of you who don't know, the reason that we damage boost in the spikes and shoot down into the floor is because there are robots below the floor in this room. And if you shoot with the right speed in the right position, you can hit them in a way that they will fall into the holes before you get down. Normally you get down there and you have to shoot them into the holes. So that saves a lot of time. Additionally, we lay a power bomb at the end, which destroys a Chozo that's holding the missile expansion so that we don't have to wait for the power bomb down. Excuse me, down here. So, very clean. I have visual cues, Benjamin. I cover them in my tutorial. It's kind of a slow Shine Spark up, but definitely not bad. We do get the optimal wall jump check grab on this reserve tank. And then the optimal quick drops through all of those crumble blocks. The optimal down press there. And at this point, we were minus 36. I did look at my pace at this point. We golded Wrecked Ship, and I got very, very nervous. We somehow managed to hit this ocean speedball despite the nerves. And we also had gotten the ocean speedball in the PB, so missing that would have cost us about 2 seconds. And yes, Oats did raid here. We got the optimal jump across the moat with the ball bounce through this room. Lay a power bomb to open the door, run back, jump through the door, and we get the optimal boost over to the unmorph on the power bombs here as well. Additionally, this strat coming back is pretty difficult, and it almost went perfectly, but then I fell right there at the end, unfortunately. We do a wrap shot there. This menuing is awful. This is probably the worst example of nerves in the entire run. So not only was I very slow with that menuing, but I actually ended up with too much health. So we lost probably 2 seconds to that. Here is the Procreation Professional Spark, which I missed the short charge to break these blocks, and I was sure that that was it. We were going to lose, probably 10-ish seconds here. And then we got the backup, which is also something that happened in our previous PB. And we also got the optimal quick drops. I was laughing so hard at this point, I could not believe that we saved this strat. It was absolutely insane. The traditional name for that strat is Sexmaster. So the name that Zost gave the backup strat is Makeup Sex. Optimal jump and mock ball, speedball through this room onto the elevator. So the funny thing about the Makeup Sex name, as Zost put it perfectly, is you can't have makeup sex unless you made a mistake in the first place. So it really is the perfect name for that backup. We do a Moonfall here. We shoot one Zila to reduce lag, and then we do a quick drop down here. I recently changed the way that I'm doing this room, but I decided to play it safe and just lose. I lost about 10 to 20 frames over the optimal strat that I've started doing there. We missed the downturn on this super because we jumped too early in the room before. I guess I can talk about this. So that shot that we did before Gauntlet is a wraparound shot. Basically, there is a copy of the door on the left side of the room out of bounds on the right side of the room. So we shoot the door that's out of bounds on the right side, and it opens the door on the left side. My camera's backwards, obviously, but basically it allows you to shine spark all the way. I saved about 2 seconds on this segment, which is basically unheard of. So I got even more excited at that point. I was like, this pace is ridiculous. I think it was minus 38. I missed the optimal charge there where you skip the platform on the way down, so we lost a little time there. This strat is called Mission Impossible, and it went perfectly. It's called Mission Impossible because you got to go back up the way you came down, just like in the movie. But unfortunately, I messed up that last part with the hopper, so we lost a little bit of time there as well. This room was clean, but it was a slow version of the way to do that, compared to what I remembered is a faster way to do it for my method. So we didn't lose time, but we could have saved a little time there, and we didn't. Nice damage boost through the door. Lay the power bomb. Stand in this position so that the super will actually connect with the block there and roll through. We get the shot here, but it did not drop a super for us, unfortunately. Depends on how much time you spend setting it up, Pop, or if you just decide not to go for it at all. I've heard it's like 4 seconds, but it's definitely worse than that if you go for it and miss it. We did not get the fast mock ball through that tunnel. Hey, Kano, what's up, man? I got my stuff. I haven't set any of it up, but hey, dude, that makes me so happy. That's awesome. Tell me when you're streaming, I'll definitely come by. And this is the charge escape clip. I've been having a lot of trouble with that recently, so I was very happy to see that go correctly. If you miss that, you lose literal seconds. I did get a super from that bug, which is something that I've recently started doing again because you get one pretty often. The RNG in this room is normalized because of the hoppers, so as long as you enter the room in the same way and shoot the bug in the same way every time, you're going to get a super every time. I unfortunately bonked that door, which is really bad. And then I landed early here, and then I jumped early here, so we lost a good 2 or 3 seconds in just these couple of rooms. However, I did get the faster version of this strat with the correct boost, so we made up a little time on our PB there. It's pretty insane how far ahead of Behemoth we are at this point in the run already. Alright, so we have our Main Street Shine Spark here. This is also something that I've been nervous about recently because I have both missed the short charge and the correct position on the Shine Spark. But it went correctly, and I did not actually compromise on the speed of my normal strat there to make sure that our position was good. So we also got the Moonfall here. We jumped a little bit early through the door, but I saved it with a wiggle there. And then we grab this energy tank. If I remember correctly, we lost a few seconds on this segment, but we were still in really, really good shape. Oats and I had a major battle over room times in here, which actually made me very good at the optimal strat here. That's an excellent room. That bomb was almost too far to the right to bounce us up. I also recently changed the way that I get back in this tunnel, courtesy of the way that Zos does it. I don't do it exactly the way that he does it because, well, too many details, but it is a pretty fast way to do that. We unfortunately get bad RNG on that sand douche, as I like to call them. Their official name is Ouch. But that means that we have to slow down just a little bit here before we come back up. I came up with this strat, boosting and then jumping up. That jump morph was actually an Oats strat, if I remember correctly, but I came up with the damage boost to get in position. This was really bad. So Samus just decided to morph there for some reason, and it threw off that entire position and everything. So that probably lost us 2 seconds. 2.5. I got really, really nervous because of that. And then I didn't get the optimal mock ball here, but we didn't fall short either, which is how you want to mess up that room if you're going to mess it up. We did get the Moonfall through this room. Can't believe I got the record. How I feel about it. Completely flabbergasted, elated, spectacular, wondrous, dumbfounded, humble, everything, all the feelings. Here's my Botwoon with my music cue timing. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that does this strat this way now because of the frickin' decalled strat. And I don't understand why new players love it so much because it's so weird and nuanced and awful. I'm just bad. Full halfy, which I was nervous about. I skipped this super because I retimed it and did not realize that it cost so much time to go for it. And we actually are very healthy with supers right now. We got the optimal entrance into this room. And it's time for Dragon. Dragon has been difficult for me recently. You know, we've gotten gooped with bad goop patterns. We've just messed up the fast swoop pattern. We have messed up the opening numerous times, so I was very nervous here. We got the opening short charge. That was not a great position on the X Factor, but it was good. We got the pattern that I was hoping for, we got the goops that I was hoping for, but then we missed the boost. So what happened was Samus damage boosted upwards because I wasn't holding forward when the boost happened. That made it so that we could not get in position to Shine Spark early enough. I lost my Shine Spark charge, and we lost a heck ton of time. We lost 10 seconds on this segment because of that Dragon fight. That was completely my fault. 100%. I should not have shot as many missiles as I did, and I paid the price. We did get the backup spike suit, yes. Michael Denny, thank you for the Prime sub. Meat Shield, thank you for the tier 1 2 months. Sorry I didn't notice that earlier. Anonymous Cheer, thank you for the 100 bits. Richard A. Glover, thank you for the Prime sub 3 months. I think I called out Happy Pie with the 5 gift subs, but if I didn't, my apologies. That should be everything. The fight itself cost probably 8 seconds. The rest of the time lost was that stupid pancake. This is my Meridius song. Sorry, I was going to sing it, but I was busy doing other stuff. Calling out stuff or whatever. But we didn't even soft lock. We got the fast moonfall into the sand. We wiggled down through the sand. And then we aim down so we won't bounce off the sand. What I mean by that is that if you're not aiming down, what happens is Samus will land and then immediately like fall. So you can't jump until you re-land. But if you aim down, you can jump immediately. You want to wall jump check this power bomb, but I missed the jump on the corner. So we just had to do that the slow way. We morphed back into the hole. We got the quick drop, which is something that we messed up in the PB. So I was feeling pretty good about this segment. We got the damage boost. We jumped into an optimal position for the angle up charge shot through the door, and I thought, okay, we're good. Then I missed this jump, and I was like, oh no! Oh! But we still got it. So very, very, very nervous and grateful that that panned out the way that it did. Thank you for the congratulations. How do you moonfall into the sand? So the way that it works is you need to be in the turn animation for the moonfall as you hit the transition. The sand transitions, the sand rooms in between are interesting in that the sand physics are different in those rooms. Hey Zos, what's up, man? Sorry about that run earlier. I think we saved like a second or 2 seconds on this segment, if I remember correctly. So I was a little disappointed that the Puyo Ice clip was messy, and I think the rest of the segment was good, actually. But thank you so much for coming by, Zost. And thank you for the fat host, dude. With the 222 viewers. I'd11, thank you for the 500 bits. And Trogdor the Meminator, thank you for the tier 1. Zosty, thank you for the tier 1 28 months, dude. I remember, actually, I'm going to stop commentating this run for a minute for story time. Sorry. I don't remember what the occasion was exactly, but I do remember I went into Zost's chat one time recently after I got affiliate. I had I had one emote, and some of you know what that emote is. It's called Shiny's Rage. And I put a Shiny's Rage in Zost's chat, and I remember he saw it and he just started laughing. By the way, we totally F up this plasma strat, unfortunately. It started off good, and then I messed this up, and then, anyway, so that sucked. But so Zost started laughing at Shiny's Rage, and he was like, what the heck is that? It's a turtle with the rage face? And, you know, I remember thinking, dude, my favorite streamer and my favorite SM runner just started laughing at my emote, and it's clear that he really likes it. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna gift him a sub so he can use it. So I gifted him a sub. And I was like, hey Zost, I just, you know, wanted to let you know I gifted you a sub to my channel so you can use that emote now. And he was like, oh wow, thanks man. And he did not renew that sub, which is totally fine, of course. Oh, I missed this quick drop, which also sucks. But short while later, I remember I was still trying to beat his RBO world record, I think. And I remember asking him if he would sub if I beat his record. And he was like, yeah, I'll sub to you if you beat my record. And I remember he said specifically, he said, I don't know if I'll resub, but I'll sub to you once if you beat my record. And he did. He subbed after I beat the record. And I don't remember how long it was between that point and when he actually came into my stream for the first time. But what I do remember is that when he came into my stream for the first time that I noticed, he renewed his sub, and it was like a 9-month or a 10-month or an 11-month renewal or something like that. And that meant so much to me that he had been subbing that whole time, because I knew that he was tight on money. We hadn't like talked about it necessarily, but I mean, streamers don't make bank unless they're huge, you know? And I knew that it was his full-time job. So seriously, Zos, thank you so much for the 28 months, dude. It has been a complete pleasure and honor to become friends with you, you know, work with you on this game, watch your progression, and you know, have you see and compliment my progression. Thank you so much. I'm not crying, you're crying. All right. Here is one of the best strats in the entire 100% run, and I don't know why Zos doesn't go for... Oh, wait, it's because he does meme route. That's right. Just kidding, man. All right. But yeah, I was really glad to get that speedball. We have, let's see, in this PB, we had about a second of gold potential. I messed this room up, but it ended up okay. And then I golded this segment a couple days ago, which actually brought us down into the 11150x sum of best. So I think I had about 3 seconds of room here as far as mistakes versus my gold from the PB, which is not very much. So I was very glad to get that speedball, because that's one of the points that if I don't get it, it's really hard for me to keep up. There were already some other mistakes earlier in the segment as well, so... Wait, already did what? You weren't about to go through what again? What did I miss? I was really nervous about this strat. Oh, will you update Zeni's split time? I wasn't about to go through that again. Well, I mean, I figured, you know, new world record, I figured you'd update it, but... Hop, thank you for the gift sub to Canadian Owl. I was really glad the Blue Fireball went well there. Fun fact, Blue Fireball is not the optimal strat, but I decided to keep it because it's really swaggy, and the other strat is hard for me. Matt Zeni, thank you for the 113 and 3 bits. I went for a ball bounce strat into this room, but I unfortunately missed the shot on the door, so I had to go with the space jump, and I was really heckin' nervous about that space jump. But it ended up okay, and then we got an optimal GT fight. It is a 113.04. I wasn't going to mention that until the end of the run, but that's fine. All right. I do not remember our split time here. I do remember, I think we were about minus 27 or so. So I was still like in really, really good shape and feeling really good about the run. There is a more optimal strat in that room, but I decided not to go for it because it's still new and I'm not 100% consistent with it. So I probably lost about half a second compared to what I could do there. That room was pretty clean. I miss the mock ball here, but that's okay. That loses about, I think, like another half second. And then we did not fall through the crumble blocks, which is another thing that I was worried about, just because that's one of those things that just happens if you are not paying attention. So we got a good jump through this room, and then recently I actually retimed the space jump strat there versus the wall jump, and it was faster for me, so I've changed that. We missed that first key hunter. We do get the other two, so there isn't a terrible penalty for lag, but it is a little bit more laggy since we missed the first one. Also, that power bomb, that first power bomb was very high, and I was kind of scared it wasn't going to connect, but it did. So Killdash, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Kip discovered kind of a variant. Basically, Kip discovered something that was easier for him, and then I believe it was Zos that actually took it and made it actually even better than the blue fireball. I missed a second clip through the Kazan there, so we lost a little bit of time. This segment, though, we had a potential 11 seconds of time save. So I knew as long as it went generally cleanly, we should be in good shape. This is one of the things that I missed in my PB. We did get it, so I was like, okay, as long as we have a clean Ridley here, we're going to save time, we're going to be in good shape. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I recently practiced even more super fights. So I knew that we needed 18 supers here, and I was a little worried that he was going to fly away, but we got it. Excellent Ridley fight. We saved about 5 seconds on that segment, if I remember correctly. So I think we were minus 32 here. Roughly. That door did not open on the way down, which actually lost us a little time. The 4-second gold wasn't the day before QZ, it was like 3 days ago, okay? Gosh. Alright, this segment is really hard. It's really, really hard. And I obviously knew that it was hard, and I was really worried. So we're bouncing up here, we get the good Deskiga, and then we K-go right through it, which really freaking sucks. So I decided to do the backup. Apparently that speedball was very, very close to not working, according to Kano. But we did get it, so we didn't lose approximately 6 seconds. I hate this room more than pretty much any other room in the entire route. This room went well, if I remember correctly. Hey, Professor School, what's up, man? Thanks for showing up. Alright, yeah, so good room. I was thinking right at this moment, oh, please let me get Hodorubi special. Please, 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 please. But our position was just a little bit off. We had too much speed, and or we did not spring up quite early enough, so we only got the first block. Then my bomb was off, then we fall in the gap, but the maze went very well. So we lost, compared to the PB, probably about a second, maybe 2 seconds there. I was curious at which points Behemoth may have been closer or further, which is why I made the comparison. But yeah, you're right. He did spend most of the run pretty significantly behind, which, let me just clarify, that is incredible. It's insane that this run was this far ahead the entire time. That sucked. Falling down there really sucks. Kill the cack, open the door, boost off the waver. This jump is really hard for me. I don't know why. There's just something about the way that that jump is laid out that is really difficult, but we got it, so. Owl with the freaking copy pasta. Oh, man. That strat with the spring ball and the bomb on that waver, that's actually courtesy of Zost. Really heckin' cool strat. Oh, that's okay, Shadow. No worries. Scotty, thank you, dude. I did not use a super in this room because we are low here, and I was trying to conserve. I like to have something like 10 supers here. Usually I have like 8. I've messed up this a couple times, so I was glad that I didn't. I also, as I was jumping over that acid, I was like, I remember thinking, please don't miss this space jump and fall in the acid and soft lock, please. That's never happened to me in a run, but I swear if it was going to happen, it would have been this freaking run. First try spike suit. So I remember also thinking, how much you want to bet? Either I get this spike suit first try or I don't get it at all. And then I got it first try and I was like, put the controller down, got a drink. Boglin Bill, if you're in the acid when the game teleports Samus back in front of Croc, it puts her in the floor. We bonked the door here, instead of getting the optimal spring ball through. When I first started going for this strat, which was developed by Real Cutie and I remember thinking, generally I have 5 supers here, and burning another super here sucks because then I only have 4, and that's really not good. Usually now these days I have more than this, and so only having this many supers was stressful for me. I don't remember how many seconds we lost here, but I want to say it was like 5. So I think we were about minus 27 again. That segment was definitely improvable. It's pretty insane grapple time. I recently optimized this room a little bit. I jump later for a quicker spring ball, but I did not do that on this run. I tried, but I just played it safe subconsciously. Another thing that I did start doing though is I unmorph and start running earlier with 2 shots there instead of my old strat. that saves like 20 frames or so. Optimal space jump up through this room. Roughly optimal. And then, because we were so low on supers, I decided to farm both of these cacks, which actually costs more time than you would expect it to. But we did get clean jumps up through the gaps. One-tile gaps are impossible, so I was glad about that. We did get these space jumps, and then I decided not to go for the space jump mock ball under the gate, because, again, I'm so low on supers at this point that I didn't want to Kojak, which I do probably at least half the time when I go for that strat. So the run was last night. I bonked that door on purpose because it means that you can hold run through that entire room and do a late jump through the door, followed by a tiny space jump through the water, which puts you in an optimal position to open this door and immediately start running, which gives you optimal speed through this room, which allows you to spring ball with optimal speed, which allows you to spring ball up here and unmorph and land directly in the door, so you don't have to do the stupid wall jump check through that door, because heck that stupid wall jump check. We did not lose Spike Suit, and we managed to use it in the X-ray hallway. I opened this door with missiles instead of supers because we're already very low at this point, and when I rewatched the run, I saw Oats and Goats comment, "That's a good decision." And I have to wholeheartedly agree. We saved about 2 seconds on that segment, if I remember correctly. Grapple to open the door early. I did go for the speed keep here because I've gotten it in a lot of runs recently. Unfortunately, we missed it on this run, so that cost us, I think, about 2 seconds. Especially because we messed it up in a really bad way. I always go for reverse slinky here. Unfortunately, lately I've been messing it up in a way where I don't even get the space jump. I did get the space jump here, but I space jumped very low, and I thought I was going to land. So I didn't even try for the shot. We got stuck on that hopper, and ultimately we lost a little time. This strat is not that difficult, but when it goes wrong, it costs a ton of time, so I was really glad that we got that. I would love to tell a story time, but there's just too much to talk about here. I do get the optimal mock ball under that gap. I do get the optimal mock ball through this door. Technically not optimal, but good enough. I do get the optimal spring ball unmorph into this E-Tank, which I did not used to go for at all because I hated it and I thought it wasn't any faster. And then I don't fall all the way back down that shaft. Good, 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 good. Unfortunately, I missed this mock ball, which is really bad. And I haven't actually timed out which backups are best in this room, so I just go with what is comfortable. Run over to the left wall, turn around, and act as if the strat went exactly how I wanted it to. I decided not to use a super on this boulder because, again, we were already short. And then, for some reason, I decided that I would switch to power bombs before doing that Moonfall, even though I really should have done it after, so we lost some frames there. I do go for my optimal strat here. Unfortunately, I landed before the door, so I couldn't space jump through the door, and I lost some more time. I almost did not get that short charge. I was nervous at this point. I wasn't super nervous, but I was nervous. And the more mistakes I made, the more nervous I got. For whatever reason, Samus did not screw attack down through those blocks the first time. And then, even though I've been doing really, really good with this here, I messed it up, and we lost even more time. I messed this up for the first time in weeks, which lost us more time. But thankfully, we did not mess up this strat. It's actually possible to end up under one of those sponge things and have it be frozen, so you're trapped down there. It's never happened to me in a run, but it's possible. I was keeping track of my time through the run, yes, and I will explain why at G4. Yeah, I remember that, Kano. That was a good room. This was a good mock ball. They take like 3 supers to die. Hop. Or more. Good jump. Good mock ball. I do not do the grapple strat going through this door because it totally messes up the way that I do this room. And we did get the shot and the jump. Unfortunately, we were going too fast, we jumped too late, and we bonked the door. So again, we lost, I think it was 6 seconds on this segment. I think we were minus 29 here, with a sum of best of 1:12:58. Sorry, best possible time. So, what was I going to explain here? I was going to explain something. Keeping track of my time through the run. So, after my PB, I immediately had a run that was minus 20 at gravity. On that run, I completely ignored chat, I completely ignored my splits, I played through the rest of the run, I got to G4, and I was about a second ahead of G4. Then I had another run that was also minus 20 at gravity. I did the same thing, and the same outcome occurred. Then I had another run where I don't remember if I was minus 20, but gravity was super, it was a super good time. I paid attention to my splits the whole time, and I ended up minus 19 at G4. So from that point on, I decided that I should keep track of my splits for this particular part of the grind. I think there's just something reassuring split to split, like, okay, I'm still ahead, don't freak out, I'm still ahead by a lot, don't freak out. Unfortunately, I did not get the optimal strat through this room, so we lost probably half a second to a second between both rooms, but I did get the optimal strat through here, which I don't believe my PB did. Alright, time for baby skip. When I rewatched the VOD this morning, I paid attention to my heart rate, and I noticed it hovered around the 150 range. I did not feel overly nervous here, and somebody in chat said, he's only in the 150, he's not even nervous. I actually ran a little later than usual, but it was very clean. And I think I just said, let's go. Notice our super count. We got terrible drops from the Metroids. And here I was like, please don't kill the run, Zebskip. Please, please, please don't kill the run. And we got it. Somehow, we saved time on this segment, despite not having the optimal room 3. We immediately lost time on the following segment because the auto splitter splits when the glass breaks, not when Mother Brain 1 dies. So if you have to finish Mother Brain with nothing but missiles, you're basically trading time compared to if you have supers. So I'm counting out my shots here. I know that my best possible time is still a 1:12:58. I'm not planning on it being a thing that could possibly happen, but I'm counting my shots, I'm paying attention to Mother Brain's RNG. I do the 16th shot, immediately she catch-ups, and I think, oh my gosh, that was perfect, I just have to make sure I don't miss this shot, and she catch-ups again. That is a 4 to 5 second loss, the way that happened. I would have been extremely upset had this run not been absolutely incredible regardless. You can manipulate Mother Brain here with the stand-up glitch. You just want to make sure that you're in the air when she turns blue, like that, and then you want to drop down immediately. Then you want to do 39 shots during this portion of the fight. It's very important to space out your shots appropriately. You want your 10th shot to be happening as the baby grabs you, so that's 10. You want your 18th shot to be right when Mother Brain is done with her dead phase. So that was 18, 19, 20, then 21. And then what I do is I count onion rings. And on the 9th onion rings shot, 7, 8, 9. I turn to the right and I wait for the 10th, and then I jump up to put the baby in an optimal position. Ever since I started doing stand-up this way, it has been so much easier to make sure that I get all the shots in and everything goes optimally. That was basically perfect. I remember thinking at this point, this is it. I got it. I'm not even worried anymore. I tried to do the Zos thing where you do the bomb spread, but I was just too hyped. Optimal morph, unmorph through the door. Optimal room there. Basically optimal room there. This is an excellent door time for the timer. Unfortunately, I missed that ledge grab, so I lost a little time there. We get the Moonfall. I don't heck up the wall jumps here. I switch my grip to claw because I've decided that that's better. I do not Zeni Spark. I almost held dash jumping through this door, which makes this room really awkward. I managed not to screw up Parlor. And as I was running here, I remembered Zost's 4046 where he said, "Piece of cake, baby, let's go." So I said the same thing. And then I get freaking blue through the steam. 113.03, except that the auto splitter starts a little bit late. And after a retime, it was a 113.04.3. We missed the 113.03 by just a couple frames. Thank you for the GGs, guys. Really, absolutely incredible run. I could not believe it. I popped off so hard. I want you guys to know I'm generally a very reserved person, and I did not necessarily exaggerate my feelings, but I also let them flow completely out of me. And it was, man, this run was just absolutely insane. Hey, Killdash, thank you so much. So, whoa, Professor School. Holy crap, dude. That's a lot of freaking money. Thank you so much for the 11,304 bits. Holy crap, dude. Thank you so much. Good lord. Alright, I have some more gift subs to read off. Alright. So we got the Zosti sub, we got the Trogdor sub. Binks, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Hoptat, thank you for the gift sub to Owl. I mentioned that. Matt Zeni with the bits. Mentioned that. Killdash with the 5 subs. Idle Child with the 5 subs. Hoptat with 10 gift subs. Tillamorph with 5 more gift subs. And Laurendrell with 100 bits. Thank you guys so much. Alright, when's the 112? Verb Object with the 500 bits. Aldera9 with the gift sub. Thank you so much. Eric PG with 100 bits. I'll address that in just a minute, Scotty. $113.04.03. I'd 11 with the 500 bits. Dear Force Friday with the 200 bits. Thank you so much. Story time from Retro Brinstar. Yeah, I can tell that story. Hang on. Good night, Clipper. Thank you for all the support. Really means the world to me. Thank you. I'm excited for your runs on Monday. 99%. All right. That's our first video that we're going to watch. We will watch another video. Yeah, we can do story time for a minute. So Retro Brinstar. Before I got like really into speedrunning, hey, DLC, shut up. Don't start the run over just because you feel like it. As a lot of you know, I casually ran this game for a lot of years, starting with Red Scarlet back in the day. You know, I saw her run and I thought it was incredible and I tried to copy it, and you know, that was early 2000s and I would just do that. I remember when I got my first job, I was still in high school, and what I would do every day, I had a girlfriend that had recently moved a couple hours from me, and I didn't have a car, so I couldn't go see her. And I think we had broken up. Pretty sure we had broken up. And what I would do every day to pass the time, I'd go to school, high school, and I was a senior. I would get home, and I would have a few hours to spare before work that night. So I would get home and I'd turn on Super Metroid and I would do a run. You know, just trying to improve whatever strats I could. A lot of those runs made it to Meridia, and then I would quit because I hated Meridia. It stressed me out and made me feel sad and lost and lonely, and I was really bad at it. And you know, so a lot of those runs died at Meridia. Just because I killed them. I would mercy kill them. And sometimes I would just start over, and other times I would just be like, well, I did a run to Meridia, and now I'm going to take a nap before work or whatever. Probably took me like an hour to get to Meridia back then, or longer, you know. But I would do that every day. I'd get home and I'd play Super Metroid, and I did that for months. Eventually, you know, I started playing less, and I'd do a couple of runs a year. I'd keep up with, you know, world record happenings. I remember checking and seeing that, some guy named Hoda Ruby had taken the record. And I was like, what about Red Scarlet? I loved Red Scarlet. And then I was, this was like 2013, 2014. I was at work one day and I was just really bored. And I was like, I wonder what's happening in the Super Metroid speedrunning world. And I checked Speed Demos Archive because that was the go-to still back then, as far as I knew. And I'm pretty sure Zost had a run as the record at that point. And I remember seeing it and reading the spiel on it and being like, this is cool. I like this guy. And I, popped into his stream a couple times, never said anything. I didn't even have an account. Anyway, so a while later after that, I remember I popped into his stream. He was streaming 100%. He was doing world record attempts. And I popped into his stream and he was practicing. And he had, I kid you not, a -5 hours until runs timer going. And I remember thinking, what in the actual F is this guy made of? Who can practice for 5 hours? This is ridiculous. And he was practicing he was practicing the first room of Retro Brinstar. He would pop in and he'd do the short charge, which I had no idea what the heck a short charge even was. I just saw him like running slowly and I was like, what is this guy doing? And then he would jump and get the speed ball and go through the blocks and spring ball over the podium and, grab the power bombs. And you guys are going to laugh so hard at this. I remember thinking, that looks so slow. Why doesn't he just go over and use a power bomb? The power bomb would break both of the blocks anyway, and he wouldn't like why is he being all slow through this room? He's being so slow. Like what? So that's my story. I remember I decided that I would justify it by swag. Because I was like, okay, well, you know what? Even if this is slow, it's really cool looking, and that's why I love this game anyway. So, who cares? But, obviously that is the faster strat. Obviously it does look super cool. And obviously that's the strat that I do now. About a year ago or a year and a half ago or whenever, I, started grinding 100%. I remember working on that segment, trying to get flawless Retro Brinstar, and it took me a long time. And I finally did it, and I recorded it, and I sent Zost a video, and I was like, "Hey man, I just wanted to say, I remember watching you practice this segment years and years ago, and thinking how cool it looked, and I never expected to be at a place where I would be able to do all of these strats." And now I am, so thank you. And I remember we had a little conversation about that and whatever, but yeah, that's my story time. Crazy STS, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. We're gonna watch another video now. I'm not 100% decided on what it is, but I have a couple of options. I think I know what I want to do, but before that, I've had a lot of people ask me, are you going to go for the 112? Are you going to go for the 112? Zeni, you're so close. You're only 5 seconds off. Are you going to go for the 112? I'm a speedrunner. Do you think I can not go for the 112? I want you guys' honest opinions. We are 5 seconds from the 112. 4.04 seconds from the 112. I can't not go for the 112. Think about where any percent is. Zost's world record in any percent is a 40.46. Behemoth has a 40.56. I don't even remember what third place is. Isn't it Cutie with like a 43x or a 42x or something? It's either that or Ov or somebody. Zost got 41, not 40. Stupid Zeni. You guys knew what I was saying. Zost got the first 27, which was maybe not literally, but at least as of right now, arguably the last in-game time threshold that anybody is even thinking about. Behemoth got the first 40xx time. Same thing there. Maybe not literally, but at least for right now, nobody is even considering trying to push the run down to a 39. That would be freaking sick. But nobody is crazy enough. Nobody is insane and hates themselves that much that they would push the run down that much. Behemoth was the first runner with a 114. He was the first runner with a 43 in game time. He was the first runner with a 113. He was the first runner with a 42 in game time. I'm 4.04 seconds away from a 112. An opportunity like this will probably literally never happen again. So even if Zost comes from behind, even if Behemoth comes from behind, and they swoop in and they scoop up the 112 before I get it, if I didn't even try, I have a feeling I would regret that. So we're going to go for the 112. That being said, I'm not going to start runs for the 112 tomorrow. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a chill time. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure. But here's what we're going to do. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. We are going to run, and I doubt he's still listening because I've said some other stuff that he didn't respond to. But if he is still listening, we are going to run Super Metroid 100% meme route with early power bombs. I want to get a good, respectable time with Zost's route because I love Zost. He is my hero, and nobody else is running this category at that sort of a level that he is with that route. So, gonna run that for a little bit. I am going to pick up my longtime project of wanting to do an accurate splice between those and get a good comparison. I did it once a year and a half ago. I posted it up. Jack, bless his heart, I love him so much. Ripped it to shreds. He was incredibly critical of that splice. I took it down. I thought I had a local copy. I didn't. And the next time I started recording a comparison video, I got incredibly demotivated and depressed. And I just never finished it. But you know what? Now I feel like I'm in a better spot where I could do a pretty accurate representation of the difference between the routes. And I have a feeling it's going to be within 1 to 2 seconds, like we've been saying all along. And it really does not freaking matter which route you run because they're both so close and different runners have different strengths. I get the freaking Bubble Mountain bomb spread on half or more of my runs. And that's a huge, not like the biggest, but that's a huge time save in that room. You know, and Zost is really good at laying power bombs to eliminate sound cues in stuff like Speed Booster, which I am not good at. Zost is really good at things like climbing Red Tower to get power bombs early because he's run any percent for years and years and years. I'm not that good at climbing Red Tower to get power bombs early. I can get a sub 8 if I try really hard. But like I would never expect to have that in runs, you know what I mean? So, different runners have different strengths, and I think ultimately, in terms of what route to run, people are better off just doing what route they want.